Kane is in the building.
Welcome to Jerseys for Life Radio here with your boy Coach King on 97.3 The Heat. And man, I have got a treat for y'all this afternoon here. Listen, we got my man Reggie Macon here. And if you guys all know him, you know he's been around Grand Rapids for quite some time. And he has a fighting mixed martial arts program. It's called Battleground JKD. And they are in a space where they teach from the young to the old about self-defense, mixed martial arts, Jeet Kune Do, which he's going to talk to us a little bit about. So without further ado, I'm excited to introduce Reggie Macon. And Reggie, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Tell us where you are, where you are in life, where you're from, get a little background on you.
Oh, man, thanks for having me, DK. Coach King. Originally born in Chicago, moved to Grand Rapids a while ago, but Grand Rapids has pretty much formed who I am today with the neighborhoods and the surroundings that I've been with. Graduated from Union High School in 2005.
Oh, you're a Red Hawk.
Red Hawk, okay. Yes,
I didn't know that. Didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, sir. So, graduated from there, but just a lot of life experiences took me down the path of learning about discipline and stuff like that. So I've been doing martial arts for about 15 years, but closer to 17.
Okay.
I actually worked with my instructor for 2 months before I actually joined the class. But he's always, hey man, you know how to fight? I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, if I know how to fight, yeah. But he was like, no, I got a class. I teach this, and I got a group. And he was like, your first class is on me, so just come check it out. So, and ever since then, I've been there. He's still a very close friend of mine now. We communicate. He's down in Houston right now. But after having my daughters, I started to realize that the knowledge that I have need to be spreaded. So willing to teach. And
what was it? Let me ask you a question. Sorry to cut you off. No, what was it about your daughters that made you say, you know what? Because, most of us men, when we have kids, we think about being responsible. Mm-hmm. We think about defending our families and things like that. So what made you say, my daughters need to have some of this knowledge that I have?
Because I know I won't always be around. So having them to have the confidence to know that they can protect themselves when daddy not around, or even my wife if in that case, but knowing that they have the knowledge to make it back home, and that's something we take for granted every day. Man,
you said a mouthful there, man. That's real good. So, okay, so about 17 years of experience. Now, were you known as a fighter in high school, or you know what I mean? Or did you just like fighting? I know you said you had a teacher and everything. How did you literally get into it?
Dude, anybody that know me know I'm a big bear. I'm not a fighter at all to other people, but I've always been into the old Wu-Tang martial arts movies and the Bruce Lee movies and Jim Kelly's and Charles, Chuck Norris's. So I was once I actually was able to understand what training he was talking about and told me it was Bruce Lee's martial arts, I was like, I'll be a fool not to do it. You know what I'm saying? So growing up watching Bruce Lee and being able to teach his art in this actual form that he taught and not the latter stages that a lot of other martial artists learn. So of course I had to be about it. I've did some MMA stuff in the past and some boxing stuff. So it's always been around because my dad was a black belt in martial arts.
Oh, wow.
So he taught us some stuff at home, but it wasn't like the structure stuff. He's like, hey, just in case somebody hit you with something, catch him with one of these. So,
gotcha.
All right. In-house stuff. So, but other than that, man, once I got the structure and stuff and fell in love with it, and to go back to your question about what was it about my daughter, that another thing that made me think about it too, because it's like, I see the world that we is evolving to, and understanding that especially in trafficking and stuff like that, all that stuff plays a major factor. So when she's out and about and family's out and about, we have what I call keywords or safe words, and if that word is said, we don't play around. We get to somewhere safe, and then once we get there, okay, why did you say that word? What did you observe? So teach us situational awareness and stuff like that too. is real big.
That's good, man. Most people, I don't know if they think about those things, in terms of defense, because most people might think of just fighting right away.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you can avoid that, I guess you would assume, you don't want to avoid it. But if you got to do it, you got to be able to do it. And having those safe words and things like that, they make a difference. So that's good, man. Now tell me a little bit about your school. I had to do my research a little bit. So, and, I've spoke for you at your event, your men's mental health conference. I actually talked about it when it was happening on the radio here. So, and I think what you did for the men in this community, it was great because it was inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Shape, size, color, none of those things mattered.
Right.
We were just talking about mental health with men.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm grateful and thankful that you had me to be a part of that. And so I'm thankful for that. So I appreciate it. But tell me a little bit about your school. I can see, and I want to just hear from you, but from some of the research I've done, your school emphasizes on confidence, safety, personal growth, and community through training.
Mm-hmm.
Can you put that into just, your words, you know what I mean, other than the research I've done?
Yeah, so, the research is great. I know you do a heck of a job doing that. But no, I figured our youth, especially, speaking of my youth class, so we have youth classes. I have women's self-defense classes. I also do some fitness and do some fitness groups.
Okay.
But our main focus is, yes, I can train guys all day long. Mm-hmm. But our youth and the women is what drives my programs. My youth class, we incorporate financial literacy and entrepreneurship. The women's class, we equip them with not just the knowledge, but the physical fitness part of it.
Okay.
Because that is a big part, and understanding that I'm not teaching them to fight, it's to survive and to make it home. So instead of me saying, hey, I'm going to teach you all these techniques, and if a person run up to you, you got to hit him with all these. It's like, nope, our biggest thing is to create separation to get where we need to go. But it just drives me to know that our community is lacking in that area. Because now we have the community that's so quick to pick up a firearm.
Yeah.
And it's like, once you have confidence, I've been knowing you for a while and seeing you're a person with confidence. Mm-hmm. You're a person that walks around not trying to show anybody off, but you are aware of who you are.
Yeah.
And in my classes, it's just helping people find who they are inside and out.
That's good.
So that's one of the biggest things. And teaching kids how to find themselves at a younger age makes them so much better when it comes to them as an individual. Mm-hmm. Because now when they get into those discussions or situations with friends, they don't have to be the one to fit in.
Right.
Because that's not me. I don't have to roll with that because that's not what I want to do. Yeah, so it's okay with saying no. Yep. And sometimes when we were, especially when we was in high school, some stuff going down. Yeah. Hey, I usually wouldn't do this, but these my boys, so I'm gonna do it with you.
It's that thought process of FOMO, fear of missing out on something, and I think a lot of times we have that, and even as adults, we have that, and I don't know who said it. But, I want to say it might have been Method Man. And he said, man, I forget what podcast he was on, but he said, it's crazy that I feel like I didn't mature until I was 40. When I hit 40, it was just something went off. And so I believe that to some degree because, sometimes you just go through life on autopilot. Mm-hmm. Some of us, our autopilots are different than others' autopilot, obviously. And so that autopilot can look like, for me, I've always been the man of the house. Yep. I've always had to defend my mom. I've always had to be there for my brother. Right. And of course, then I got my own family and it just transitioned. So then autopilot assumed. Took over, yeah. And it's like, not everybody has the man of the house mentality, lead. I always tell people, one of my best title, if I had to choose a title of all these titles that we have in corporate America and all these other places, is a father. Mm-hmm. Give me that title over anything. Yep. Right. And I take that with so much pride as being a father, right? Yep. Consistently, day in and day out. And so when we think about those things, that's what I think about in terms of defense. But my autopilot is that. Some people don't have that autopilot. If they came up as like a only child, and they might have a selfish autopilot. It's all about me, right? Yeah. Or and so it's when you get to see it as you get older. So I may have matured in certain areas before 40, whereas other people, they say, man, when I turned 40, I started thinking about what my mom was meaning when she was telling me to do this, or my dad was trying to teach me and tell me then at this point in my life. So it's good you say that, but it makes sense.
Yeah, so all those sayings back when your parents would tell you something and you like, oh, they just talking crazy. Now that you're older and you start to realize, you like, I get it now.
Yeah. Yep. So let's talk a little bit about some community involvement and some of the things that you've done. I know that you got a lot of good stuff going on right now. I mean, we talk all the time. Tell me a little bit about some of the community involvement that you've done most recently, and then give me some things that you're doing in the future.
Cool. We partnered with Baxter Community. We did youth fitness and finances. So where we had some bankers come in, and we also had some financial literacy teachers come in. I'll teach the fitness portion and tell them, the mind, body, and soul connection, making sure our mental as well. So it's not always about the physical look. Yeah, you can be very strong looking and very fit, but if your mind is messed up, it don't balance out the body. Right. So it don't balance you out as an individual as well either. We did that. We partnered with Amplify GR. We did fitness in the park. Okay. We did also with Amplify GR. We did women's self-defense and situational awareness at Boston Square Church. And the list goes on. I personally did as you spoke to, the Men's Mental Health Conference. This year, we're going to be doing our 3rd annual Daddy-Daughter Dance. Yeah, you told me about that. When is that? That is actually June 20th.
June 20th. So if you're listening right now, Grand Rapids, June 20th is going to be the Daddy-Daughter Dance. You want to tell us where that's going to be located in?
We're working on location, the venue right now. Potentially, it's not locked in yet, but we might be using Wellspring High School. Okay. Yep. So we're talking with them and trying to see if we can work some stuff out with them. We're doing, matter of fact, still super in the talks. We're going to do a fatherhood, paper planes, and pizza event.
Awesome. Okay.
And I'm partnering up with Project Give a Kid a Tie. Also with We Are New Young Fathers. Okay. We're going to come together. Just something simple to show that the new fathers, you don't have to always spend money to create memories.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's so good. That's so good.
We're going to get some paper planes or some paper, teach them how to make paper planes, even have contests of seeing who can fly their plane up the farthest. Just something fun to interact with the kids and get the fathers to understand that money ain't everything. Right. So you can give the kids, because it's coming up when you start having kids, it's like I want to give my child everything I didn't get, but that's material stuff. Yeah. Like they can take that stuff away. So we're going to be doing that. And then, of course, November, we're going to be doing the 2nd Men's Mental Health Conference. Yep. But yeah, man, just trying to make a lot of stuff happen. And that's with the nonprofit side of the business. But the for-profit, actually, we're going to be doing a teen self-defense. We have in February around Valentine's, we're going to be doing a couples togetherness event. To where it's not really going to be a workout. It's going to be a light something, but we're going to be doing stretching, breathing techniques. Good. My wife is going to bring out the mimosas, and we're going to have food trays. Oh man. So it's more so with that one, it drives near and dear because every year at the beginning of the year you got those new year, new me. Yeah. I'm finna work out, and it's always one-sided. So especially if it's somebody in a relationship and it's one-sided, I'm chasing after something that you're not. Yeah. So after doing some research, it's like a 63% chance of a couple breaking up because now I'm chasing towards something different, and you want to be the same. Yeah. So now it's like if we can get them together to do something together and chase something together, it's to save relationships. Good. And you know what, man? Listen, when you get some of those dates, when you get, I know you got them all lined up, but make sure you get them to me because I want to make sure the community knows about this stuff. So that's really good, man. So, all right, if you know right now how Jerseys for Life Radio go, we are coming to a close of the first quarter. And we'll be getting into the second quarter in just a bit here. I'm excited here. We got some more questions and some more information that we can get from Reggie Macon here out of Battleground JKD. And you're listening to Jerseys for Life Radio here with your boy Coach King on 97.3 The Heat. And we'll be right back after these messages.
97.3 FM is sponsored by Gun Lake Casino.
The wait is over. Everything you want, and it's all right here. A resort, spa, and spectacular tropical paradise. This is where you want to be.
This is where you wanna be.
The all-new Gun Lake Casino Resort and Wawaye Oasis are now open. Must be 21 or older. Gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Thank you, Gun Lake Casino.
Hey, what's up, Grand Rapids? It's your boy, Coach King here, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the Grand Rapids Kappa League. Since the fundamental purpose of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated is achievement, it is a fraternity's primary purpose to help the young man of Kappa League achieve worthy goals to make constructive contributions to their communities when they become leaders. Through the club-oriented activities, the officers and membership of Kappa League perform projects that will expose them to planning, execution, reporting ideas, and stimulating just good leadership. The characteristics designed to raise the aspiration of these young men are to make them go to heights that no one else can achieve. All activities and programs are taken from one or more of the 7 phases. To learn more about the 7 phases of Kappa League, make sure you contact Coach King, myself, right here on 97.3 The Heat. If you go to our website, you'll be able to leave a comment, concern, or question pertaining to anything related to the Grand Rapids area Kappa League.
Tune in to WJWC 97.3 FM, The Heat, home of hip-hop and R&B, Latin crossover, Latin rap, and Latin R&B.
You are listening to Jerseys for Life Radio with your host and coach, Derrick King, on 97.3 FM, The Heat. All right. And we're back for the second quarter of Jerseys for Life Radio here with your boy, Coach King, on 97.3 The Heat. And man, we have been having an awesome afternoon here. We're talking with Reggie Macon here at a Battleground JKD, right? And listen, he's been talking to us about his background, what he's been doing here, the high school he went to here, Red Hawk. You know, I'm a polar bear. Everybody here knows that. But listen, it's all love. Talking about the community work he's done and the list of things he's done. Most recently, what he's going to be doing in the future here and where he is currently. So, you know, for those of you that are just tuning in here, title of our show for today is Fighting Stress Without Fighting Yourself. And we want to talk about how martial arts can help youth heal at home, right? You all know that Jerseys for Life Radio is not just about one specific sport. Although I may be a basketball coach, I've coached football, I've coached track, I even coached a little baseball. However, we're talking about the jersey that you have on in all parts of your life. We all wear a jersey. And so today in our episode, dealing with Reggie Macon, we're talking about fighting, maybe the gi that you might wear. Right? The uniform there, that's still considered a jersey. And so as we get into this segment here, I want to talk about the silent battles that the youth are fighting. And so in talking about some of those silent battles that the youth are fighting, Reggie, I want to just say this here. The youth, they are sometimes not given a safe place to express themselves emotionally. And sometimes our youth, what they do is they may express themselves outwardly in different places that they attend, and it doesn't work out well for them. So let's talk about giving the youth a safe outlet for some of those big emotions. Tell me a little bit about that and what you do.
So specifically, you know, the biggest thing when we hear martial arts in general, people automatically go into fight.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's a small part of learning martial arts because first you have to learn yourself. Mm-hmm. You have to learn how to process. You think, process, and then respond.
Right.
So then from there, you know, when kids do come with issues, I'm very big on holding the mitts, letting them punch. If I got to put a kick shield on, if they want to do some kicks.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing, because once we de-stress the body, now we can go into learn mode.
Okay.
So let's say if DK came to me, he's a young teen and he's going through something, he don't know how to express that.
Yeah.
So, all right, D, don't worry about it. Put these gloves on. I'm going to show you some basic punches. Let's get it out. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you do a 2-minute round on this bag. Whatever you got going on in that head, get it out right here.
Do most young men, we're just talking about men, or let's talk about young men right now. Do most of your young men, if that happens, because you're saying it happens, do they last the full 2 minutes?
Never.
Really?
I've even had some grown men come in there and say, "Oh, I got this." 2 minutes. The longest I've had was probably like 1 minute and 26 seconds.
Really?
Yeah. So
because I imagine hitting the bag, just getting it all out. I mean, you might be done after 30 seconds.
I've had the quickest I've seen was 24 seconds.
Okay.
Because of course we're dealing with emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And some people that don't know how to control them emotions. When you say hit the bag, everything you got is all force. Bah, 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 looking like George Foreman hitting the bag. So that takes a lot of endurance to keep up hitting the bag for 2 minutes in that striking way. So
yeah,
but just giving them a place, and then once they do come down from whatever they're going through, now we can have that talk. Okay. What's going on? Even if it's too personal, if they want to talk right now, just okay. Now you can give me a scenario, so I don't have to get too deep if you don't want to get too personal.
Right.
So then now, me as a coach, not only when it comes to martial arts, but as a coach, as a person that want to help, that thrives off helping people. Now I have somewhere where I can go and help them out. But if you just say, "Hey, I'm just mad," why?
Yeah, and so that's what we talk about. Emotional regulation.
Yeah,
and it carries home fewer explosions because they're able to do that and get that release there. And probably more calm moments. It's space where they can actually speak and think confidently, and actually, like I said, think about what they want to say and how they're actually feeling. And it could just be simple as, I'm mad about XYZ.
And some, and just speaking of that, sometimes as parents, we are the ones that know it all. And we don't take that step back to actually listen to what our child is going through. Because we've been through it. We know what you're talking about. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got the answer. But it's different nowadays. They have so much access to different things than what we did when we was coming up.
Okay.
So now those fitting into the in crowd.
Okay, yeah, talk about that.
So it's like you get a lot of just personal pressure from a child that's in school. Like I said earlier, might not know who they are or what lane they belong in. Yeah. So they're out trying everything.
Trying to figure it out.
Right. Yep. So now that's to your point, going with the flow. Yep. Autopilot.
Man, you're hitting all my points here, man. I'm sitting there looking at all my points here, and it's like it's that sense of belonging and structure.
Yeah.
Right. So, you just go ahead.
A lot of that. So now once we can have that conversation, and as like I said, as parents, sometimes we have to take the back seat and let the kids drive a little bit.
Yep.
Because now if I ask you, DK, why you mad today? And you don't know how to express that, but the only way we are trained or even know how to express it is through violence.
Yeah.
So now I have to hit something just in case, you know what I'm saying? So I can express myself. So being able to teach them how to, like I said, think, process, and respond is real big.
Yep.
Because now we can have that intelligent conversation.
Right. And that makes sense because we talk about at home, what it looks like is, short tempers, withdrawal from a parent. I know I've dealt with that with my own children, lack of motivation.
Yeah.
And I feel like this generation, we see a lot of lack of motivation. I know I see it as a basketball coach, where, it's hard to read. I don't want to call out certain rap artists, but certain kids want to put a hoodie on and just curl into themselves, and it's like, man, and it's like they just so unmotivated, and then they might have an emotion or they blow up. Before we talk about some of the techniques and training, would you talk a little bit about? We got to understand that some kids don't feel, or they don't need another lecture, right?
Nope.
They need a safe outlet, which you are able to provide that and do that for them. So, and just like athletes, youth need conditioning for life, right? Not just survival. Mental and emotional fitness matters just as much as, physical fitness here. So, let's talk about movement as medicine, right? Releasing stress the right way. And that's what we've kind of already done. You talk about reducing some of those cortisol levels and things like that. Have you had any ways in which you thought about how, especially with, dealing with, self-defense and things like that, how the youth learn? Because we all learn differently.
Everybody learn differently.
So have you thought about, how they learn or how you're able to teach this person? Like I just said, that kind of crawls into themselves because they're quiet. They really don't want to be there. Their mama made them be there. How do you teach them someone.
So even with that, it's funny that's a dope example, because I actually just had a kid that just joined, and he was more so looking for his mom for reassurance as I'm talking to him. So me personally, I'm a big kid at heart. Right. So when I got kids coming to me, I joke around with them. We play. I got daughters that teach me TikTok stuff, so I know the lingo a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, but just getting to know who the child is outside of the parents, because even sometimes our parents can give us identities that don't belong to us.
Yes, that's a big deal. That's a really good point too, man. When you say that, like, because let's just say you have a mother or father that was not good in athletics, not a good basketball player. I see it so much in basketball, where you see a kid that got some basketball talent, right?
Some potential,
or football, but let's call it basketball, because I see it more often in basketball. You see a kid like, hey, yo, he can play, he good. But the kid really don't want to play. But because the dad was not good in high school,
he lived his dreams through his child.
He's living his dreams through his child. And you see it so much, because then you look at the kid, and the kid is like, man, well, I'm forced to be here.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I mean, I like playing basketball, but I don't love it.
Right.
And dad loves it, and I'm really doing it just to make him happy, right? Yeah. And so that is such a force. And some parents will be like, well, I'm going to make them do it anyway. And it's like, that you're driving a wedge. You're driving a barrier between yourself and your son or your daughter or whoever, because now they don't want to be around you.
Nope.
Right? And what I've often said, because I'm guilty of this at times. I've been guilty of this at the time with my kids and as athletes. But one thing that I came to the conclusion of is after the ball stops bouncing, or, the sport ends, this is still my son. Yep. This is still my daughter. I have to have a relationship with them in life, because at some point, Lord willing, they're going to get married, or they're going to buy a house. They're going to have children, and you want to be a part of their life, and you don't want to end the relationship because of you forced them to try to live out a dream that you had that you couldn't achieve, or that you just weren't as good at, right? And that's hard on kids, man.
And it's funny because we see it in basketball, like you said, it's even in the martial arts world.
Really?
So you get some parents that or that the heyday talk, back in my day. Oh man, I did. It's like, no, we're not talking about you right now. We're talking about your child.
Yeah,
It's the feeling of always trying to one up the child. Yeah. It's like, no, I'm telling you, your child has some great potential in doing this and doing that. Oh, because you got it from me.
A hard part about that, man, is this right here. And when you think about it, we always like to give, we like to steal our children's joy, right? We want to steal their youth, them growing up. Yep. Like you just said, back in my head, like right now, we see all this snow outside. Man, we used to walk to school. We walked to school when it was like 12 inches outside, where we didn't care and everything. And it's like, the kids are looking at us like, but we weren't back then. This is me now. So why would you try to basically steal my childhood? You're stealing my childhood from me, telling me what you used to do. But what about right now? This is mine. This ain't back then. And I'm fine being very transparent about that. I'm guilty of that. Like, you're right. This ain't, I'm not playing on the same basketball court that you played on, and we're not playing against us. This is you growing up. So why would I compare me to you? That's not fair.
I'm guilty as well, because even with all this snow, my son is only 7. So, Dad, how much snow did you have to walk in this?
I'm like, I can tell you, but I'm not going to tell you that. It's not fair for me to make you do what I used to do. That's not necessarily fair. I can teach you a lesson through it. So
even just going back to the movement as medicine, and we can pertain it to basketball. You know how good it felt after you had a good game. Body felt good, whatever you was going through. Yeah. Now the rim seemed like it's 10 foot wide. Yep. You can't miss a shot. And, now after that, everybody talking, hey, bro, you got game, So just moving, and then sometimes people aren't aware of what they're capable of.
Now, let's talk about this. With the movement as medicine, and it transitions to us mentally. As we get ready to come to a close here on this quarter, we got a couple minutes here in the second quarter. Does it help with better communication with parents or guardians?
Yes. So once we get to the point where, like you said, we're moving with medicine, our body becoming more, relaxed. Because when you're depressed or you are in a tense state, you always have a guard up. So now it's not so much of that barrier there, because now the barrier is kind of broke down. You feel more relaxed, and then now that you're better to articulate yourself. Yeah. Now you can think about what you want to say. Okay, my reason why I was mad because I overheard you and Dad talking. It made me feel a certain type of way. Yeah. But when you tense, then it's like, what's wrong with you? Ain't nothing wrong with me. So it's like you get that temper, and it's like at the end of the day, I'm your parent. Like, you know who you talking to?
Yep. And the youth, what they're doing, that child in that moment, they're learning to self-soothe instead of self-destruct. Yep. And then they can communicate. So, man, that's good here. Well, listen, we are on Jerseys for Life Radio on 97.3 The Heat. And here's a message that if you're listening, to take home with you. And we talk about what Jerseys for Life mean. Well, let's talk about it. Learning how to manage pressure off the field or off the court and inside your home is what it's all about. Listen, you're on 97.3 The Heat, Jerseys for Life Radio, and we'll be back right after these messages.
97.3 FM is sponsored in part by the Sports Book for Young Athletes, College Recruiting Roadmap.
Are you a young athlete with dreams of playing your sport in college and getting a scholarship to do it? Are you a parent with a talented kid? College Recruiting Roadmap is your ultimate step-by-step guide to turning that dream into reality. Written for student athletes, parents, and coaches, this comprehensive guide takes the guesswork out of college recruitment and lays out a clear path to success. Whether you're just starting in elementary, middle school, high school, or already deep into your athletic journey, this book will help you take the right steps at the right time to stand out to college coaches. Available on Amazon.
Hey guys, this is Coach King from Jerseys for Life Radio. The quote for this week is earning your sleep. Have you done what you need to do throughout the week to earn the right to put your head on that pillow at night? For more great talks and quotes about sports and life, tune in every Saturday to 97.3 The Heat from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Hope to see you all there.
Tune in to The Doc Show, your ultimate multicultural hit mix. Catch The Doc every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. playing the hottest and freshest mix of multicultural hits. The Doc brings you the best tracks from around the world. Live and exclusive, the hottest mix of global hits. Unmatched vibes every week. Don't miss out. The heat is on, and it's coming straight to your speakers. Stream us anytime at www.theheat973.com. The Doc Show, bringing the world to your ears on WJWC 97.3 FM. Feel the heat.
You are listening to Jerseys for Life Radio with your host and coach, Derrick King, on 97.3 FM, The Heat. All right, and we're back here just after halftime on Jerseys for Life Radio. Here we are in the third quarter. Something when I think about the third quarter, I just think about sports and coaching and stuff like that. We always tell our athletes that after halftime, the first 4 minutes of the third quarter usually for me is the determining factor on how the game is going to go. So if we're up 20 and we decide to get comfortable, we let them crawl back into the game. Oh man, I just had a flashback of a game, man. Listen, and I can say this because I'm fine in my own skin and being honest about this. But I've learned from it. I can never forget when I was coaching at Ottawa Hills. We were playing Grand Rapids Catholic Central, man. And Catholic at this time, man, they had some players. This is just a few years ago. Man, they had Fat. And they had Jerry Brown's son, KK. And man, listen, we had a strategy. We stuck to it. And, KK got in foul trouble early, picked up 3 fouls in the first half. So we got him out of it. We are up 20 at halftime. And the second quarter, the last 4 minutes, I put in a defensive group and they pressed and they got us up. And I'm like, man, I got to go back to my starters. Halftime over, I go back to my starters because I'm like, they've been sitting. And this is a lesson for me. And I'm like, and some of my coaches like, man, you should have went with the other guys. Keep Coach Forrest Saunders. They should stay. They good. Let them run out of gas.
Right.
And I didn't do it. I went to my starters and boom. They crawl back into us. Now third quarter, we tied pretty much. KK came back. Fat had a heck of a third quarter. And boom, we right there. We ended up losing by, I think, 4 or 6 points or something like that. But man, and I didn't take my own advice. And I knew that. So I think about the third quarter. Every time I think about the third quarter, I'm like, I can't make that mistake again. So Grand Rapids, Ottawa Hills, I'm sorry. I blew that for us from a coaching decision, but I'm fine with growing into not doing that again. So,
but that's huge. Just to touch bases on that, because a lot of coaches won't blame themselves.
Oh man, yeah.
Because now I sent y'all out there to execute a plan, and you didn't do it, not knowing that my coaching strategy could have been different, and made a different outcome. So that's huge too. So.
I should, it's one of those things like the game changed. The plan worked. However, we still had a detour, and I should have stuck. I should have just went with the detour for a little bit instead of saying, "No, I got to go back to my starters because this is what I always do." So, But yeah. So listen. I got some things here. We're talking again. If you were here at the beginning of the show, we're Reggie Macon here out of JKD. And we're talking about self-defense, mixed martial arts, and all the things on how sports come together to make or help our youth. And so let's talk a little bit about identity formation, right? There's a quote that I like to say. It's called, I'm more than what happened to me. And so perhaps the most lasting impact that I think that JKD has done is they help you define themselves. You talked about it a little bit. And they stop seeing themselves as anxious or angry. So let's talk a little bit about that in terms of identity and what you do to help our youth learn who they are and get comfortable in their own skin.
Man, one of the biggest things that right off the top, confidence. Because a lot of times we are, even as adults, we are still one to try to find who we are. And then when we defined it, we use that as a crutch on why we act a certain way.
Yes, you're right.
So it's like, okay, I'm the angry one. So now when people come around, oh, don't mind him, he's the angry one. It's like, no. Why live up to that? That stigma or whatever. But it's like once we do find ourselves, now we look at, the youth, they look at themselves different, because now just because you think I'm the angry one, that doesn't mean I have to act as the angry one. Now I'm going to show you how I really am. So just once they find that inner peace, because a lot of time the angry one is the one that's violent on the outside, but it's insecure on the inside. Yeah, because a lot of their anger is coming from because they don't know who they are. Yep. Or they're trying so much stuff and never fitting in. Yep. They don't know what else to do but to be that angry. You know what I'm saying? So it can be something as small as, I didn't like the shoes that I got on or something like that, but now I got to be angry about that. Yep. But it can be something huge too. So once a child or the youth in general figure out their lane, who they are, and how they operate and what makes them happy. Because a lot of times we don't teach our kids to do what makes them happy. Oh, that's your bestie? What y'all like to do together? It's always a collective. It's never an individual when it comes to our youth. What do you like? What do you like?
And it's okay. Yeah. I think that's a thing that, I've learned the older I've gotten about myself even, but even about, with kids, because sometimes we'll put down what a kid likes. A kid will say, well, I like to say draw, and be like, well, the way we kind of came up, well, at least from people in my family, like, well, how much money are you gonna make being an artist? Right. But I like to draw. That's some of the brokest people around here. They struggle the most, and they try to bring up false stats and statistics about stuff that they know nothing about, and they try to put in making money. They always try to create. It's like, well, but this is what makes me happy. Like I actually like this, and so I'll give a quick example. My son, he's in a band in Huntsville, Alabama. He's a bass player. Okay, right, and his whole life was I'm a coach. training and development. We in the gym, right? And man, like, we had him in fighting. We had him our kids and everything. But man, he went to college and he was going to run track. He could have still ran track down there, but he decided he didn't want to walk onto the team at Alabama A&M. And then one day he's like, yeah, I'm playing the bass for this in this band. And I'm like, really? Like, what are you
doing to get girls?
Yeah.
He's trying to find a way to justify it.
He like, well, I was in band all through high school, so I was like, I didn't know you could like band like that. He was like, but this instrument though, the bass.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did you learn? You ain't even. He's like, Dad, I'm musically inclined. Like, I picked it up in 3 weeks. You can play a guitar. I can't do that. So then all of a sudden you try to compare, like, well, because I can't do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we hurt our kids that way a lot. And now, I mean, this guy is traveling all over the South, playing and constantly opening acts, and I'm like, I love it.
That's dope.
That's the best thing. I think
dope.
That was an aha moment for me because I'm like, he's smiling. That boy happy.
Yeah.
He still hit the gym.
Even with that, inside of finding the confidence, finding who you are, you find out how strong you are as an individual.
Yes.
You become more focused.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff that we don't pay attention to because just like us, we was coming up, a lot of stuff that was happening, we were trying to keep to ourselves and figure it out ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's like now, but how can we figure something out ourselves? We don't even know. So now it's just like being diagnosed something. Like I would rather find a root cause of something and not necessarily fix it, but enhance it to where it benefits me and not hinders me from doing something.
Right. It's so with our youth and people in general, we talk about the youth here. It allows them to kind of gain confidence without becoming aggressive or lashing out. You know what I mean? So let's talk about that a little bit, how that strength becoming internal, not reactive a little bit.
Yeah, because again, going back to I'm angry and the only thing I've been taught is to fight. I have to lash out. But once they become more aware of their body, it's more so, okay, I don't have to do that. Like when I started fighting, when I got into the structured side of fighting, because growing up fighting and getting structured fighting is two totally different things.
Okay.
And it's like I've walked away from more fights than I've ever got into because I'm aware of what I'm capable of.
Right.
So just doing stuff like that, man. Just being and also holding yourself accountable when it comes to certain things. The old cliche, the superhero. With great power comes great responsibility.
Right.
It's like, yes, I know how to fight. For one, being an angry person or the tough guy, I don't have to prove that to anyone.
Right.
Like, I know what I'm capable of. Just because you don't think I am, don't mean I have to show you.
Yeah.
Because now I'm processing knowing the consequences behind my actions, and I'm not just reacting. I'm being proactive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now, it's just a lot of stuff that brings the child, because now they have a sense of belonging.
Yep.
Some kids, once they find that, like your son, I'm in band. I love this. Like this, this is something that I like to do. Just because you didn't think I know how to do it, don't mean I have to shy away from it. And then it actually gives them a sense of individuality.
Good. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just going from aggressive or a problem child or anything like that to, okay, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can do. I know what fits me and what makes me happy, because now going back to when we say, oh, it don't make you no money. My mentors always told me as I got older, don't chase the bag because you're always going to be running behind it.
Yeah.
Attract it. Become what you want to be.
I like that. That's good.
So it's like now Reggie going to do this. Or even my daughter, my kids. My daughter is 16 now and she's been in student council, student ambassador, done played varsity sports, and she's actually dual enrolling at Davenport. I've been training my daughter since she was 4. She's actually one of my youth instructors at the gym.
Oh, that's good.
So it's like you can see the difference, and I'm not knocking none of the other kids' parents, but you can see the difference. And even some parents even tell us, like, what did you do with her? I'm like, she know how to fight. So, well, what do you mean about that? I've been teaching her what to do, how to do it, and how to be aware of herself. Like, if you trust your instincts. And a lot of times we get into something and we can have that gut instinct, like, you know what, I shouldn't be here. But since we with our friends, we go through it anyway. So it's like, listen to your body. Like, our body tell us stuff all day, every day.
Yeah.
But we don't listen to it because we're not connected. or we were too busy trying to do something else. So
that's good, man.
Being able to see her navigate life and stuff like that, I'm like, it's worth it. And I want other kids to have this.
That's good. That's
so,
really good,
you know,
man.
like, yeah. So, and then my 13-year-old daughter, I call her my beanstalk. She's 13, but she's 6 foot now.
Oh, wow.
So she
play volleyball?
She played volleyball.
Okay.
She just signed up for basketball, so she had her first game. So
oh man, like, she's 6 foot.
6 foot, yeah.
That is,
so she actually her first game she had 6 rebounds, 2 blocks.
Okay,
she's not quite scoring yet. She's still kind of not confident.
Trying
yet.
to figure out.
So you know when you run in the lane on a fast break. She's one of those ones that hit the corner, like not going towards the rim.
Everybody want to shoot three.
Don't
get me started.
Or I don't even want the ball, so don't look at me. But you know, just seeing them growing and actually having the confidence to even try sports that they've never done.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, it's a lot of stuff that plays a big testament into why I want to do this for other kids.
Yeah, that's good.
You
Confidence, man.
Confidence.
It's confidence, man. And I think there's a lot of, I see a lot of our young people that just lack confidence because also nobody ever pours into them. Mm-hmm. Like we always like to fault find and see what flaws that a person may have. You know, that can hurt a child.
It does.
I can say that even as a coach, I've done it to our athletes at times where I'm, I pick them apart. I pick them apart. And it's only because I see everything and I'm like, okay, something that my fiance, she said, she said it a few years ago and it just kind of stuck with me. She said, just because you're thinking it doesn't mean you need to say it.
Oh, man. That down? Hey.
Just because you're thinking it,
That's like an old Sam grandma would say back in the day.
You don't need to say that, babe. And I'm like, And she like, just because, keep it to yourself. Because, and then, so I started doing that and then I started looking at timing, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's one of those things like, but if you don't hold them accountable, right. But there's a timing space for that when you need to, right? Yep. When their guards are down, especially when you're coaching young people. Oh yeah, you're dealing with young people because you just
emotions.
They might have a mask on,
barriers, everything come into play.
Yeah, they might have a mask on, and you think that they can take it right then and there, but they go home and tell their parents.
Yeah,
and it's like. Coach said this because I didn't mean that's not what
right. But even when it comes to coaching and it's in the gym, on the mats, you will have that standout, right?
Yeah, yes.
And you can be that coach that points out a flaw
if they can take it.
If they can take it, but not only that, it's not only on the kids too, because now. The parents are telling them how good they are.
Man, listen.
And they're not accepted to that flaw that you may point out.
Man. Yeah.
So it's like the parents can be a barrier by themselves. Mm-hmm. So the kid can be a very coachable player. And you might even discipline a child. Like, hey, you know what? Yep. That last quarter you didn't do what I asked. Go ahead and ride the bench. Mm-hmm. Now you got the mom and dad. Put my son in. He got this. He did that. It's like, ma'am, this is my team. I'm running it. Let me structure.
Well, sports in general... Mm-hmm. The thing that I love about sports is it puts your kids in uncomfortable environments, uncomfortable spaces. And we all know that life is a teacher. Mm-hmm. So the more you're in those uncomfortable environments and spaces, you can start to see like, oh, this kid struggles under pressure. Mm-hmm. He can't handle the press. Yep. You want to know why? Because he can't think and dribble at the same time. So you compound that with mom and dad in the stands, coach yelling at them, other players, or whatever the case may be. Let's say it's a fighting match and it's one-on-one. I'm not in that space, but all I can think of is you got a coach telling you got to get under him, you got to grab him, you got to tug him. Remember with a touch, breathe. And then you got all the other kids clapping, and those pressure situations.
You hit the nail on the head, like from actually being in there and then being a coach. I got to see both sides, just like hooping. Yeah. So I got to see both sides. Yes, okay. As a coach, I can tell you 1,000,001 things. So I have eyes on the outside looking in. Mm-hmm. So I see the fight, I see what's going on. But when you're actually in there
Yeah.
You gotta answer the phone. Do this. Take this. Yeah. Take this out. Do this. It's like, coach, if I could do it, don't you think I would have done it by now?
Yeah. So, and some kids don't have that. They can be overstimulated. You can see like, okay, this kid gets overstimulated with too much.
Yeah.
This kid may actually have a little bit of ADHD or whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
So, but man, listen, this is getting so good here. We're entering the fourth quarter, and I want to end with a power line here. And I want everybody to know that's listening right now. Not every kid needs to tell their story to heal if they're going through something. Some need to move, train, and rebuild trust within themselves to feel comfortable in their own skin, right? We're at 97.3 The Heat, Jerseys for Life Radio, and we will be back for the fourth quarter right after these messages. Student athletes, parents, and coaches, tune in to Jerseys for Life Radio every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'll be talking about how sports help shape your life. You can listen in online at www.theheat973.com. I'll see you there. All right. We're here in the fourth quarter. Jerseys for Life Radio here on 97.3 The Heat. We're here with Reggie Macon here out of Battleground JKD, Mixed Martial Arts, Jeet Kune Do, right?
Seafood Brooks will be mad at you right now.
And we're talking about how mixed martial arts and fighting can be a release for our youth, training and development for their mental. It's good for their mental health and their peace. There's some at-home things that allow them to be able to speak and communicate with their parents when they feel safe. Then they have these boundaries that have been in place, and allowing their parents to just allow their students, their student athletes, their children to feel comfortable to be able to speak about things that they're dealing with when learning some of the techniques that they're learning here through mixed martial arts here. Now remember, Reggie Macon is right here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, right? He has been doing this for about 17 years or so. So, I mean, we have people like this and others in our community that are here for our youth to develop them and make them better. And not only just the youth, adults in general, right? So, we're on the home stretch here, fourth quarter. Let's go ahead and ready to wrap up the game and win. And, some things we're going to be talking about here is the long-term transformation and then the identity shift, right? We talked about mixed martial arts and how it gives our youth structure, accountability, and a sense of belonging, right? We talk about a sense of belonging. We have to think about it from inclusion and belonging, right? We talk about the table, right? There's a table. We should all have a seat at the table, especially the family and the home with the family, right? Yep. There's a table, but everybody should have a seat at the table. And more importantly, everybody should have a voice, right? They shouldn't be fearful of mom's voice, dad's voice, or, we talk about fear of missing out, being with our friends and having that self-identity piece of just because everybody else is doing it. Hey, my voice is valid. I don't want to do it. Right. You know what I mean? We talked about the fighting and on the mat or in the basketball game, being comfortable without the crowd and the people from the outside trying to control what maybe the coach should be the only voice they hear in that moment, right? Their teacher. So let's talk a little bit about some of those things here. So let's talk about, as we wrap up here, if you had to give me 1 or 2 bullet points about structure and mixed martial arts, and what it does for in the home and outside the home, what can you give?
Instead of giving you 2, I'll give you 1 good one, and I live by it. Delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification. Tell me a little bit about that.
So nowadays, we live in a world of instant gratification. To where now I have a cell phone. If I want to get on the internet, I can do it right now.
Talk about
it. If I want some food, instead of me going out to go get it or having to make it, I can get it ordered to me and get it done to me right now.
Yes.
When it comes to business, and I'll even take it back into my gym. Delayed gratification is so important because you get so many people that want to be good at martial arts right now. They don't give themselves enough time to be bad to get good.
They want hot now.
They want it hot, boy. That's
hot now.
Get them and go.
Get them and go.
So it's like I tell even some of my adult fighters that I train, give yourself enough time to be bad, so you can get good.
That's so good, man.
Because now it's like
grace.
The social media has tarnished just training and sports in general. It tarnished it so bad because now I can get on my phone and see a guy in a gym or even in a boxing gym where he's doing a 20-hit combo and he's looking smooth and he's doing all that. And I have literally had people come to me with a video. Hey, can I move like that? Are you willing to put in the work to move like that? You want to move like that out of 3 classes when he's been doing it for 10 years.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So it's like delayed gratification has been so big, and I take it even in business, is because we have to go through our routine and create structure and everything. Well, we have to go through the structure to create routine. And it's like once you get that, it makes everything better.
Yes.
Because now when I'm at home, instead of me getting instantly aggravated or anything, now, okay, let me see what's the root cause of this. Why me and my wife might not be seeing eye to eye. What's going on?
What steps did I miss?
What did I miss? But taking that into delayed gratification when it comes to kids, anything I teach you in the gym, I want you to apply to your everyday life.
Yes.
So when we're in the gym and we find that barrier or that wall where it's hard, hey, coach, this drill kind of hard, I can't get to it. What are you going to do to get over it?
Yeah, because you
have to.
Got to, yeah.
The class is still going to go on and you still have to do it. I'm not allowing you to go sit down and take a break.
And that's beautiful when you think about it, because I heard Tom Izzo say it, the process is the journey. Right?
Yep.
I had to think about it for a moment. I'm like, process is the journey, right? Everybody says trust the process, but the process is the journey, right?
Yeah.
But in basketball, we think about, the season.
Yeah.
And we got 22 games, but it's the journey to March for playoffs.
You start at the first game and automatically we want to be state champions.
Oh, man.
You don't think about nothing that happened in between.
Nope.
So another quote, bro. I'm big on quotes and keeping stuff, especially when it pertains to me. I got a buddy, Albert Foster, cool dude, and he does interior design with plants. So he's real big with nature.
Really?
Real big in nature.
I might
have to connect y'all. So he told me it's like going hiking. He was like, when you get there, when you start hiking and you get to that high point, first thing you see is the view, right?
Yes.
So he's like, everybody focus on the view. He's like, how come we don't stop in the middle of that hike and check the view from there? So he's like, just like the process. We want to look from A to B, but we don't see anything in between.
Right.
Which actually makes you appreciate the end better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that you might not get to that championship.
Yeah.
But it's the camaraderie and the team building and everything you did up until that point that makes y'all so much closer.
Yeah.
It brings back the brotherhood.
That's good.
The traveling and everything else. So it's like when we go in to do stuff or, we going to, like, my fighters, we would go to other gyms and we would spar other guys. So now when we go in there, it's not so much to us to say, okay, we big and bad. It's like when you training with somebody, you probably can pull off 30 to 40% of the moves that you do because y'all both doing it. But when you go into an unwilling opponent that don't even know how you move, that percentage go up to about 87%.
Okay.
Because now you don't see me training this move every day.
Yeah.
You don't see me doing this every day. So it's like now we go into the thing on the way back from that gym. We talking, hey, how that feel? I saw you hit that move.
Yeah.
Hey, you hit it with a good one.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about that, and that's building confidence. So now the guys is like, not only am I learning this, but I've seen it work.
Yes.
And that's when the true belief comes in, because I can sit here and train you all day long, but if you don't ever apply it or see it work, you just train it just to be training.
Good. Yeah, that makes sense, man. That's good. Let's talk about some at-home results, man.
Yep.
What do you think, or what do you know, I should say, because I'm pretty sure you've seen this. What do you know? What are some of the at-home results that the youth will get? And we can say anybody, but what do you think the at-home results are going to be that the youth will receive, from attending a class or attending, just coming to get training and development in that space?
So one of the biggest things, and this is actually a personal client or student or mother of one of the students, she was getting bullied. And she's a big girl, heavy set, and she wasn't necessarily very vocal.
Okay.
So when people would joke or make fun, she would be one of those clamshells.
Yes,
bro. I don't want to. I'm very non-confirmational, so it's like I don't want to say anything because as a bigger girl, she is bigger than a lot of people in her school, so she don't want to feel like if I do this, they're gonna be scared of me.
Yep.
So one day, her mom hit me up on Facebook Messenger with one of those big long messages. Hey, coach, I just want to say thank you. My baby, she stood up for herself today. So she was in my class. I'm not going to say her name, but I wanted to. But she was in my class, I would say 6 months before this happened.
Okay.
And her mom was like, the girl said something to her, and she told her, hey, leave me alone. But probably not in that way. And the girl said something back to her, and the girl pushed her, and then some other girls came, and she defended herself.
Okay.
So in my youth class, we also have a mantra. At the end of every class is, just because I know how to fight doesn't mean I have to fight, but it's okay to defend myself.
Yes. That's good. That's good.
Therefore, she found there was no way out because they cornered her in the locker room.
Oh, yeah. So you have to...
and the only way to exit out is on the other side of y'all.
Yes.
So she defended herself, and she felt good about it. Like, when she came back to the class, like, coach, oh, man, let's do this drill some more because this helped me out on here. But it's like she found herself. She was more vocal. She became the captain of her basketball team because now she has that confidence. Hey, coach is saying this, God, we got to do this. We got to do that. So it helps them not only, and I'm big on confidence because that's what helped a person carry themselves with respect and dignity, and they hold themselves accountable, but it also helps you build routine.
That's good, man. And I was thinking about that, improve routines.
Yeah.
And then the youth, they understand that they don't have to react to everything that they feel.
Yeah.
But defending yourself, that's a different story. So that's really good, man. Hey, listen, man, we've had such a good time with you, man, Reggie, on Jerseys for Life Radio. And, we definitely want to have you back again. And, just so you know, I want you to give us real quick, tell us where where Battleground JKD is located. So I'd like to know where it's located. You can give us a couple listings on classes, and how can people find you or get in touch with you? So
we are actually located downtown Grand Rapids on Market and Wealthy, 342 Market Southwest, 49503. We're in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm on, you can go to my website, battlegroundjkdllc.com. I'm on Facebook at BattlegroundJKD, Instagram, BattlegroundJKD. And just, you'll see us around. We got a lot of stuff with the community coming up. But classes, Mondays and Wednesdays are my Jeet Kune Do classes and my women's self-defense classes. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays are strictly for the youth. We have classes from 6:30 to 7:30. Like I said before, we incorporate entrepreneurship and financial literacy in that class because we're big on not just training the physical, but the mental as well.
That's good. That's good, brother. All right, man. Well, listen, we thank you all for listening to Jerseys for Life Radio on 97.3 The Heat. You guys got to remember, jerseys come off one day, but the lessons, the discipline, the self-control, that's what stays with you for life. We thank you all for listening. And we will be back next week with a sweet show for you all to listen in on. Thank you. Jerseys for Life Radio. We're out of here. Y'all have a good one. Deuces.